Foreboding, mysterious, unnerving, incomprehensible. The basis of all fear is the fear of the unknown. Concepts that haven't been fully realized or actuated, what could manifest from it? Could it all run smoothly, or will a certain string of events create an endless purgatory of suffering? One of these concepts is perhaps one of the most explored but most difficult to master concepts in all of storytelling: time travel. Such a simple concept, yet so many interpretations that could feed it. Directors could approach it akin to what Avengers Endgame did, with multiple timelines being branched off with certain things not affecting the current timeline. Or it could resemble how it was handled in Back to the Future, with continuity from the past or future impacting the fate of the present, past, or future. Continuity is in fact the biggest enemy of the concept of time travel. Without a consistent set of rules, certain practical aspects of the plot can crumble, paradoxes forming everywhere, and can launch the viewers out of the immersion of the story, making the tale less compelling. Few pieces of media have truly mastered a plot with time travel, but those that do revel in its genius methods of storytelling. One work that handles this hard-to-interpret concept, along with flourishing so many artistic marvels to paint such an amazing story, is a Netflix show, simply named Dark. To start this delightful, dreary descent, it's time for some history and a brief summary of the show. It first aired on December 1st, 2017, and follows 4 deeply rooted families in the small fictional German town named Winden. And although the first episode seems very similarly structured to Stranger Things, another very popular sci-fi show on the same platform, Episode 2 and onwards dives into a twisted, mind-numbing experience that involves multiple versions of certain characters, various time periods, and the fact that everything is connected, nothing with a loose end. This needed family tree of the show should explain it all. Realistically, it will be hard for a lot of viewers to get into the show, considering it deals with a very convoluted plot that requires the watcher its full attention, along with either subtitles or a dubbed viewing, which can break immersion for some and can make it uninteresting to follow. Those who look past this, though, are in for a truly delightful experience that will cause their head to scratch through the whole thing, but in a good way. This review will of course be spoiler-free, however if more information about the show is desired before reviewing, check out the official website for the series. It's quite interesting to witness all of the complexities in a more basic, easy-to-grasp format. Enough about the basics. What makes Dark a worthwhile experience? The lighting and cinematography of Dark perfectly encapsulates the aura and atmosphere of the entire series, enforcing a sense of desolation, bleakness, and setting a constant eerie undertone through it all, even if the current situation reflects the opposite. Paired with some truly diverse, unique shots such as Jonah on his bike, various establishment shots of the thick German forest, to diverse shootings that aren't just from the shoulder up with one character on screen. To see some marvelous examples of the cinematography, look up The Beauty of Dark on YouTube to see some beautiful takes. The best examples of the visuals in the show, in my opinion, are the torture room scenes primarily in Season 1 and the lake scene in Season 2. The prior having extreme close-up shots in every take to enforce a sense of claustrophobia, unlike every other locale in the plot. The torture room is also very well lit, with bright, sanitary white lighting, contrasting the atmosphere of Winden and enforcing this unnerving sense of dread. An even more powerful sense of dread is in the Season 2 lake scene. Jonah is at a sort of a resting point in his hellish journey through time, the calm eye of the storm. He has returned from the future to speak to his love interest, to confess his love through his odyssey. The lighting is warm, which is a rarity for the series, with rays of delightful sun bouncing off the water and on their faces. The spinning shot around Jonah symbolizes this relaxation, things moving slowly and not jumping to the next scene frantically, giving a flow similar to the water in the lake. The thing about this scene is the fact that once it's over, Jonah is back in the hurricane, attached to its will and being in no control. Knowing that it's a desperate, temporary bliss of love is what makes this bliss so much richer. The music is another bearing ailment to make this immersion so much more impactful. Ben Frost is in charge of the orchestral composition, always bringing this eerie sense of dread, accompanying the epic scale of what these characters have to face, with strings so impactful that it sends shivers down the viewer's spines. The sounds associated with the character Noah in the earlier seasons in particular embosses that he is a force to be reckoned with, and that he knows far more than what the audience does. The fear of the unknown is particularly called well with the sound, with the minimal yet storming orchestra and the low-sounding horns alluring to the mystery of how the time travel works and how everyone is connected. What if Jonah doesn't complete his destiny? What if he fails? It is unknown, and the soundtrack enforces this fear of the unknown. Meanwhile, the title track Goodbye by Apparet does a good job being the bow on top of this musical present, instilling a more whimsical mystery with a sweet undertone of chaos through the very trippy and weirdly satisfying introduction to each episode. The actors in the show do a fantastic job fleshing out this sci-fi drama, establishing the feeling that a situation greater than time and space itself has inflicted this small town in Germany. Louis Hoffman, who plays the main character Jonah, has a stellar performance, carrying his miseries while the audience resonates with his confusion and hopelessness. Going back to the lake scene, his trauma is painted on his stern expression, his stillness from still rationalizing everything in his head, his lust for the character Martha shone through his blank, scarred eyes. The kiss so bittersweet, as he knows he can't bask through it forever. He has a journey to restore everything that is no longer normal with his life. And as he walks away, the gravity of it all flows through him, with sorrow covering his face. The casting of the actors, meanwhile, expertly shows different people at certain ages, with the characters in their older/younger selves looking so remarkably similar. Aside from Jonah, everyone else in the cast effectively showcases what a small town would do when faced with this dilemma of time travel. The character Ulrich, in particular, is another noteworthy example, filled with anger and despair as he tries to find his son who got stuck in time, only to become a victim of the confusion and twistedness of humanity later on. The interwoven aspect of the storytelling and its consistency is the true shining gem of the entire show, that not only uses the concept of time travel extremely well, but is also used in a way that is not simply a gimmick. Time travel is just a part of the show, not the main focus, not the main fascination for all the characters. The main focus is how time travel brings out either the worst or the best in these characters, how it can be abused for a deeper purpose or agenda, how it can be used as a showcase for the true darkness of humanity. The word interwoven is an understatement. Everything is connected and planned from the beginning. For example, in the opening scene of Season 2, there are two characters the viewers haven't seen before, and one of them is killed by the other fairly quickly. The character who becomes deceased is never seen or elaborated on for the entire season, however, is finally indirectly unveiled in Season 3, and the audience wouldn't know it was him from that one scene in Season 2 without either paying attention or going back. There aren't any paradoxes, even if it seems there was. The existence of some of these oddities is even explained in the show, with a scientist character explaining concepts indirectly like quantum physics or Schrodinger's cat, giving a sense of reason to this marvelous storm of time travel chaos. In essence, Dark is the pinnacle of the diamond in the rough. With an extremely interesting, unique story that handles a popular yet fascinating concept so well without it feeling half-baked is refreshing. From relatable characters having to battle this seemingly supernatural scenario, to not knowing who to trust or what they should believe in during all the chaos, along with some stellar visual elements and a foreboding orchestral soundtrack, paired with the amazing, expertly done acting, it all blends masterfully to not only create a fantastic show, but a fantastic experience. If you have the will to look past the subtitles or dubbed voices, and let go of everything around you except the show, putting your full attention on it, you will be in for an incredible ride. It's a small price to pay for such a rewarding watch.